everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Today I'm going to be doing the GarbAugust Trashy Books tag. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. And today we're talking all about trashy books. As you may or may not know, August is GarbAugust here on BookTube, and GarbAugust and this tag are both the brainchild of Criminoli. I will link his channel down below so that you can go and check out everything you need to know about reading trashy books in the month of August. As part of GarbAugust, Ollie has invented a new tag, the GarbAugust Trashy Books tag, and it has 9 questions plus tag some people at the end. Some of the questions are fiendishly hard, but I will give it a go, and let's get started on the questions. Question 1. Trashy books are often dismissed by the critics. What's a book which is regarded as trash, which you think has artistic value? I found both this question and the next question extremely difficult because I find trash very difficult to define. I don't actually think this book is regarded as trash anymore, but I think it may have been regarded as trash or trashy when it was first released. And that is The Postman Always Rings Twice by James M. Cain. I've chosen this one because I absolutely love this book. I think this is a classic of crime literature, and this copy is actually a Crime Masterworks edition. But these books do definitely have sort of trashy elements. There's a quote on the back saying, "A poet of the tabloid murder," and another quote saying, "In their depiction of sex and violence, Cain's crime stories are low-rent tragedies of obsession." Definitely when James M. Cain's books first came out, I think they were a sort of pulp crime noir type of genre that was maybe seen as trash, but I think judging by the fact that this is thought of as a crime masterwork, I think it has been judged to be less trashy in years to come. There are definitely trashy elements, but I loved this book, and this book absolutely shocked me. Yeah, I was thinking about this for absolutely months afterwards. It just stunned me. So, in my opinion, a great work of crime fiction. Question 2, I found even harder. Question 2 is, critics often love books with extreme or challenging content. Which critically praised book did you think was trash? I found this very difficult to judge again because I don't really personally go around deciding that things are trash. I think what is popular with the public can often be a lot trashier than what is popular with critics. But I definitely think that the book that I'm going to hold up does have trashy elements for me, and it has really out there elements, and I thought that because of the out there elements I was going to really love this book, but I didn't love this book at all. And it's not that I think it's trash, I just personally, it wasn't for me. I think it's a bit of a Marmite book, and that is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I can almost feel people shouting at me that this isn't trash, and I don't think this is trash. I just think there are very trashy elements like aliens and time travel, which I think are great sort of sci-fi elements in themselves, but I think that they were sort of, you almost feel like they are shoehorned into this book. It's very extreme, but then again, this is considered a classic sort of anti-war book, so who am I to criticise a classic book? But yeah, this was just one that came to mind after I had racked my brain for a very long time. Yeah, for me that is a book that has bordering on trash elements without actually being trash. So number 3 is, not everyone approves of trashy books. What's a book you wouldn't read in public? I don't really read that many books in public. I do take a book with me when I leave the house, but I don't any longer go on public transport or anything like that. I used to get the bus to work way back before I learned to drive, and I think, to be honest, I would have read pretty much anything I was reading on the bus and not batted an eyelid, but I also don't really think that I was ever reading anything that would have made me think twice about reading it in public. I don't think that I probably would read most of the books that I've selected for GarbAugust on public transport, particularly the Bonkbusters. But again, I don't actually judge anybody for wanting to read that. I think everybody should read what they want to read. So whatever you like to read, I think you should be reading it. And if you want to read it on public transport, go for it. It would certainly make me really smile if I saw somebody reading something on public transport that I thought was a good fit for GarbAugust. Question 4 is, books about killer animals are almost always trashy. What animal would you least like to be attacked by? I had to give this question some thought as well, because I would really not like to be attacked by an animal that would kill you slowly, such as an animal that would kill you by poison. That is a way I would really not want to go, so that kind of led me on to the idea of snakes. But my actual fear of a creature that I would really not like to be killed by, and it does come from Alfred Hitchcock and the film The Birds, so therefore also the short story by Daphne du Maurier, killer birds would definitely be, I would not like to be in a trashy book featuring killer birds. No thank you. Especially if they were going to peck your eyes. Oh, no. Question 5. Trashy books often flourish in specific genres. What's your favourite trashy subgenre? I would have to say that my favourite subgenre of trash would be TV tie-ins. While we've been thinking about GarbAugust, I've had a good think about what have I read that would probably be considered trash, and my favourite is TV tie-in trash, because I have read more TV tie-in trash than I have probably read of any other type of trash. And when I say TV tie-ins, I mean books that have been written about a TV series but are not actually based on a specific episode or that sort of thing. So basically, I think that before fan fiction was such a big thing, there was the TV tie-in book, and my absolute top favourite, which I have a lot of books of them in my mum's garage, is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tie-in books, because there were so many, and they are like fan fiction because they're like a whole new story featuring Buffy and the gang, and I loved those, and I consumed so many of them when I was a teenager and had a full shelf of them on my bookshelf at one point. So yeah, Buffy TV tie-in trash has definitely been a favourite of mine, and I would actually love to reread some of this trash to see if I would consider it trash or if I thought it was good. At the time, I really enjoyed it and thought it was great. I have also read some much worse TV tie-in trash. I've read some TV tie-in trash from the series Torchwood, which I was enjoying watching at the time. Some of the books from there are fine. Some are probably really quite rubbish, and I did read them, so I think it's fair to say I thought some of them were pretty rubbish. And worse than all of that, the only sort of really trashy book I would say I have read since starting on BookTube, before GarbAugust that is a TV tie-in book of the TV series Riverdale, which has just gone to being such a bad series as it is. I read a book that was a tie-in to that series, and it had so little plot. It was unbelievable. So yeah, but that doesn't stop that from being my answer. I still really do love TV tie-in trash. So question 6 is, famous people love to milk their fans by publishing books. Which celebrity would you like to read a trashy novel by? Now, I don't think by any means that this celebrity would necessarily write a trashy novel, because I think if they wrote a novel, it would be amazing. I would definitely read any book, whether it was trashy or not, written by Taylor Swift. Like, she already writes masterpiece storytelling in like a 2-minute, 3-minute song, so I would definitely trust her to tell me a really good story. I reckon she could write a trashy book, and if she did, I would be the first in the queue to read it. Question 7 is, trashy books have the best covers. Which book on your shelves has the trashiest cover? I don't really have that many books that have trashy covers. The one I eventually picked out is actually also a TV tie-in book, and this is one of the Richard Castle books that ties into the series Castle, and it's called Naked Heat, and it is quite trashy because it has like a naked female silhouette laying on top of, I think that's probably keyboard keys spelling out murder. So I would say this is the trashiest cover that I own, probably. Question 8 is, trashy books often contain adult themes. What's a book you read before you were old enough to? Sadly, I really don't have a good answer for this. I've always been quite law-abiding and also quite sensitive in some ways, so I don't think I ever probably read a book before the age I should have read a book. Films, probably a bit different. I do remember watching The Exorcist with my mum and just laughing at it. And this isn't a book that I was too young for, but I do remember reading a book by Christopher Pike, who wrote brilliant horror books when I was a teenager. I read a book when I was a teenager by him called The Midnight Club, I think it was called, and that was too much for me. I couldn't sleep after that one, but I don't think I was actually too young to read it. I think I was just too sensitive. So don't have a good answer to that question. Question 9, if you were a character in a shifter romance, what creature would you want you or your partner to shift into? Yeah, I don't think I have a good answer to this question either. I, for one, would not want to be in a shifter romance because I don't even enjoy romance books, and I think that being a shifter would be incredibly painful, so I don't think I would want to do that. I did read the Sookie Stackhouse series of books a few years ago by Charlaine Harris, and I do intend to finish that series. I have about 3 more books to read in it, but the character that I thought was a really great shifter character was, I think he was actually a shifter who shifted into a tiger, which I always thought was pretty cool, but I definitely wouldn't want to be involved in that romance, so I'm not going to give an answer to this question. Sorry, Ollie. Question 10 is, tag the trashiest booktubers you know. I don't really know any trashy booktubers, but I'm going to tag quite a few non-trashy booktubers to see if they have better answers to these questions than I did, which I'm sure they do. I'm going to tag all of the people who've agreed to buddy read trash with me in GarbAugust, which is Danny at Danny's Book World, Ange at Ange's Book Chatter, Jack at Spread Book Joy, Gemma at Gemma Books, and I'm also going to tag a few others because I think that we should get more people doing the GarbAugust tag. So I'm going to also tag Nikki from Red Dot Reads, Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures, Jolene from Bookworm Adventure Girl, Emily from Novell Novels, and I'm going to tag Jennifer at Jennifer Loves Books. I don't know if any of those people have been tagged already, but if you have, I apologise for double tagging you. And I apologise for tagging you in the trashiest book tag that there is. If you're joining in with GarbAugust, I hope you've got off to a good start reading some really fun, really trashy books. And the one thing that GarbAugust is really teaching me is that we should all just read whatever we want to read, whenever we want to read it. So that's my ethos. If you have enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Which highly rated books do you think are trashy? Or conversely, which books do you think are thought of as trash that you don't think of as trash? I'm really interested to know what you think. So happy GarbAugust, and I hope very much to see you all again soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.